all in line. And they're off in the Kentucky Derby. On the far outside, Freehouse the Gray quickly going for the lead. Pulpit is right there into the second spot, and Concerto shows early speed in third at the Wood. Between horses, that Silver Charm with the yellow sleeves racing fourth. Shammy Davis, the horse who was in trouble in the gate, is fifth in the red and white colors. And on the far outside, the long shot, Crimson Classic going to get caught wide at the first turn. Pulpit battling with Freehouse. Those two in a duel up front. Now Pulpit with Shane Sellers takes command. Freehouse on the outside is second by a length and 3/4. At the rail, Carlos Marquez has Concerto right there saving ground in third. Silver Charm with Gary Stevens fourth on the outside. Phantom on Tour is next in the orange colors with Jerry Bailey. Then on the outside it's the long shot, Crimson Classic. Along the inside, Captain Bodgett now beginning to close a little ground. Shammy Davis, Deeds Not Words. Hello is third last. To make that fourth last. Along the inside, Crypto Star. Jack Flash is second last, and far back, Celtic Warrior about 18 lengths from the front. And back on the front end, the battle continues with Pulpit on the inside and Freehouse on the outside. Flores with Freehouse on the outside and Pulpit with Shane Sellers. Shane asks for a little more speed and gets it. And here comes Gary Stevens with Silver Charm, 3 wide and gaining. Jerry Bailey looks for a little racing room with Phantom on Tour, and Captain Bodgett is flying. He's fifth in the red cap on the outside, top of the lane in the Derby. Freehouse gets the lead. Silver Charm on the outside. Pulpit at the rail back to third. And here comes the captain. And down the stretch they come. Silver Charm to the front. On the inside, Freehouse. On the outside, Captain Bodgett. It's Captain Bodgett on the outside. Silver Charm at the rail. Those two to the wire. Here's the finish. Silver Charm by a neck with Gary Stevens. Captain Bodgett on the outside, second by 5. And Freehouse was third.
You guys, I got to tell you, who was riding Captain Bodgett? Keep that horse straight. You might have won that.
Yeah. It was, can't believe I don't remember who it was.
But, yeah, you ran right up the ass of Silver Charm. Silver Charm was always game anyway, but.
Steve, I can't see you.
Oh, you can't?
No.
Nope.
Oh. Let me see if I can figure this out. Hold on.
I'm pulling up while you're doing that. I'm going to pull up the Derby chart and see who. I want to try to figure out who was on Captain Bodgett. That was 1997, not 1990.
Alex Solis.
There you go.
What's up, Stevie D?
Carl Fry, how you doing, buddy?
What's up? I'm great.
Did we lose Simonovic? I think we lost him. He's trying to.
No, I'm. Let me see. You guys talk. Let me see if I can figure out this camera. Hold on.
I thought there was. I thought there was a glitch in the system this weekend, Dylan. You didn't end up on top of a major contest leaderboard.
The whole time change, and it was just. I think they added up my scores wrong, and
By the way, that reminds me. New item for sale on LoneSpeed. It's a framed text conversation where Dylan told me I was using the wrong horses in the Keeneland finale, and 2 of my horses ran 1-2, crushed a 71-1 exacta.
You printed that out?
Yeah, I sent you the text. Didn't you see the text?
He needs that kind of affirmation.
I turned off my phone after the contest Saturday, and I turned it on this morning, so I didn't really get anything yesterday. Like some stuff, I didn't see some stuff that other people sent me.
Gotcha.
I'll text it to you right now.
Gotcha. Did they treat you well at least?
I haven't been murdered yet.
Good.
Great food here. This is where we're chilling right here.
Oh, are you still in Kentucky?
No,
I'm in Costa Rica.
You're in Costa Rica. Good God. Okay.
Dylan, you better make sure there's no Cayman.
Did you go to Keeneland, Dylan?
No, I didn't.
That's where I'm screwed up. Okay.
Yeah, DeCastros, I feel like you're 5 days. You're 5 days behind on team news.
You had a big party, right?
I did have a big party. A lot of fun. Brent showed up. That was nice.
Was it a surprise, or did you know about it?
I had no idea. I had no clue. You know me. I'm
Wow.
oblivious to everything going on around me unless you just directly tell me.
We're all getting old, man. Except for Dylan.
Yeah.
I'm still getting old.
Yeah, I know, but I tell you, I've been feeling shit the last couple of years. This last year that I normally never felt before.
It
And
starts,
now I got
man.
this tooth problem that I told
Dylan
you guys
has
about.
no idea, man. He's like 15 years away.
Mhm.
Yeah, Steve-O, you said you can tell there's some decay involved with that tooth issue. Is it? I don't want to gross out our viewers.
All right, listen. Yeah, listen.
Should we go
Well,
in for
everybody let the cat out of the bag.
like a cam view? Like get in there and check it out.
Show us. Zoom in, Steve-O.
I'm going in Thursday morning at 8 a.m. They're gonna do something in there,
Good.
drill it out.
I'll tell you, so like I have the most beautiful periodontist you could ever imagine, like endodontist maybe. She's just gorgeous, and she says to me, "We can
Brush your
take
teeth."
this." She goes, "We can take this tooth out right now." She goes, "I'll just Novocaine it up, and then we'll do it." I'm like, "Talk me through that a little bit." She's like, "We'll probably have to break it into 3 parts, this, that, and the other." And I looked at her and I said, I want to be that guy who could just say, "Sure, yeah, just give me a shot and rip it out." I'm like, "No way. I gotta be under." And I went under, and I did not regret that at all. That felt like the right decision. I like counted down from 10, and like I was healed when I woke up. It was fantastic. So Steve, if they give you the option, go for it.
Well, we'll see what happens. Hopefully, I
Don't
get out of
eat
there
before
alive.
you go in, by the way. Don't eat before you go in, so they can just knock you out right there.
Yeah, I'll brush my teeth and all that shit.
All right, what are we doing here?
Well, anyway, yeah, Justin, why don't you give us some pointers?
This is why. So I talked to Steve-O last night. I said, let's do this. Let's do an emergency coffee with Dew, but it became an emergency LoneSpeed show. And I'm going to tell you the horse that led to me wanting to have a discussion. And this horse may be, it may be on everyone's radar already. Or it may be a false wise guy horse type of thing.
Grande.
I'm talking about Grande. And Grande lost, I would guess, between 150 and 200 lengths of ground around the turn in the Wood Memorial. And, it's kind of, you can't really do it this way. Rodriguez got a 101 buyer. For those of us who care about buyers, and there's times where I think they are good to look at and times where they are not applicable. But Rodriguez has run 2 buyers of 100 or more. So and they're both races where he got the lead around 2 turns. So, that's clearly his style. But anyway, so if that buyer is legitimate, and if you can do the formula in your head where you add points based on lengths. I mean, Rodriguez lost 0 lengths of ground around the turn. Mike Smith had him on the rail. Grande was, if you read the chart notes, let me just read it to you. Grande got bumped at the start by Sandoval, who broke out of step, raced 4, then 5 wide through the first turn when caught outside that same rival, tipped 6 paths off the inside down the backstretch, and began a steady advance. I think they meant to say advance. They said advance. Began a steady advance inside the 9/16, tucked 3 wide through the far turn, bidding into prominence, placed to urging 3 furlongs from home, angled 5 to 6 wide in upper stretch, offered a mild kick to cut a bit into the winner's margin while clear for the place honor. So he was a length and 3/4 ahead of third. So, I mean, you would want to watch the head on and actually count the ground loss. But it just by reading the chart, if you're 5 to 6 wide around the first turn, or was it 4 to 5, called 4.5, you lost 3.5 lengths of ground to Rodriguez on the first turn, and then probably another 2 around the far turn. You could crudely call that anywhere from 5 to 6 lengths of ground loss without really measuring how far off the rail Rodriguez was. And if you add buyer points based on lengths, well, Rodriguez winning by 3.5 lengths got a 4-point buyer edge over Grande. So we're roughly a length, a buyer point, roughly. So if you add, say, conservatively 5 buyer points to Rodriguez's buyer, and you could maybe add 6 or more, you're looking at a horse that ran a 102-ish buyer in his third career start. And arguably, my guess is he will get the highest Ragozin in the race, which is not how we determine winners of horse races, but
He did.
yeah. So there you go.
Yeah.
And that means he's been clear. He debuted at a mile, breaking from the rail at Gulfstream, and then ran immediately to a mile and an eighth, and he romped, and then arguably ran the best race in the Wood. So you're talking. He did not race as a 2-year-old, but I think we're done with that given Mage and Justify in recent years. It's Pletcher, it's Rapoli. I don't know who the Derby jock is, but I assume it would be Dylan Davis. Somebody got a noisemaker on there playing cricket sounds.
Damn,
That me?
sorry. That's literally the crickets out here.
I'm trying to chew I'm eating a raw onion right now.
Yeah, that wasn't the sound. Anyway, the Costa Rican crickets are a nice touch to the show, I think.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, Rodriguez, 3 lifetime starts. And you're talking about a horse that really hasn't been beaten. His time form pace projection for the Wood, his early pace was a 110. He wasn't able to go with Rodriguez, who had a 109. So it looks like the speculation was perhaps Grande might have been faster early. I'm going to go back and pull up what the optics plot looked like.
Yeah, Grande ran a little quicker for a half mile. Is that what I'm looking at? Or second quarter, excuse me.
If we pull up the optics plot from the Wood Memorial, Grande the 7 was a very large circle in Q1, which would have suggested he was non-competitive, not likely to be competitive. Boy, Captain Cook was a huge square, and I don't even know who that horse is.
Should we watch a replay of the Wood?
Yeah, let's watch
He's
it.
a Dutro horse. He was the big favorite.
I'm just based on everything you said. I kind of want to. Can you hear that?
Yeah, it's Dylan's crickets in his house. They're invading him. Let's yeah, there we go. So Rodriguez just he's the 1, and he goes right to the front, and Grande the 7 in the famous Rapoli silks, who right now is literally 5 paths off the rail, got bumped a little bit farther. He's there in 6th. He's outside of that group of 4. He's kind of mid-pack here. And
he looked like he kind of steadied a little bit.
a mild steady, but I mean,
not big.
Bigger story, ground loss. I mean, now according to the chart caller, he's about 6 paths off the rail at this point. We'd have to watch the head-on to see if that's accurate, but it's probably not too far off, and he's still kind of advancing. Which
early middle move, yeah, you don't like that.
It's not a turf. I mean, in turf, this kind of thing means you're not winning. In dirt, I don't watch enough dirt routes to know if.
Well, I don't like to do that either. I like to,
how often can good horses overcome kind of a steady progression from, say, the 6 furlong marker, which is basically what Grande does here. Rodriguez kind of had things as mostly his own way. He was never eyeballed or anything. I'll wait for Dylan or Frank to tell us what the pace was like in here. I mean, I 111 and 1 for 3 quarters. I have no clue if that's fast or average or something. Even now, Grande, look, he's like extra paths off the rail. He didn't even have to do that way.
Yeah,
and he keeps running. He keeps running. I mean, it's like you would expect this horse to stop, and especially in his first time ever going. Well, it's his second time going a mile and an eighth, actually. But
now let's picture another 1/8 of a mile.
Well, but see, the thing, this is my, yeah, I hear what you're saying. It looks like Rodriguez was maybe kind of ever so slightly expanding there a little bit at the end at the wire, and he did run fast. The quarter before the final quarter. Let me make sure I got my facts straight here. Yeah. So you have the final 8, and the quarter before that, Rodriguez ran about 3 or 4 fifths faster than Grande did. So when Mike Smith asked him, he went. And I don't think Rodriguez is without a chance in the Derby either. I mean, I don't know if.
Did you hear what Mike Smith said?
No.
He was on, I think, one of those morning shows, Steve Bick or one of them guys. He's like, this horse can rate. He doesn't think it needs the lead.
Well, I mean, he has 2 wins in his career, both by open lengths, both around 2 turns, both when going to the lead.
Well, that's why Mike Smith's a jockey and not a handicapper.
Yeah, I mean,
that could be coach speak. Yeah,
he might be right. I mean, I don't know. I don't know who's faster, Rodriguez or that East Avenue from the Bluegrass. Somebody again who does pace figures like Frank and Dylan or optics should be able to tell us during Derby week. Look, which one's faster if they want to be, and I don't know what the answer to that is.
I bet you East Avenue will be in front of Rodriguez.
Maybe, especially if Mike Smith is already laying the groundwork.
So
Dude,
this is my first time seeing the past performances for this race. There is some heat in this race.
What the
this race right here?
In the Derby. I'm just saying.
Okay.
There's some. We got some early heat in this race, assuming some of the horses down the list get in.
Well, who's going to be all the heat?
Well,
Madaket Road.
I'll tell you who the best source.
American Promise, Citizen Bull, East Avenue.
Oh
American
yeah, Citizen
Promise
Bull.
Fast.
Rodriguez. They're all zinging out there.
Well, Citizen Bull can't rate. They found that out Santa Anita Derby Day.
Mm-hmm.
So as of right now, it looks like Neo Equus, who the Florida Derby? Yeah, I think he ran 3rd in the Florida Derby. He's number 21 on the list. Number 22 is Beza. And I don't even know if
Beza. Yeah. Hope that was
I think it's Beza. And then 19. They still have Madaket Road in. I guess he's pointing for it. So here are the probables. Burnham's, and I'm glad you got this on, Steve, what you're putting Derby Watch, because I think they're mostly the same horses. But anyway, Burnham Square, Sandman, Journalism, Rodriguez, Tistastic, Tapan Street, Sovereignty, Final Gambit, Coal Battle, Chunk of Gold. That's the first 10. Then Citizen Bull, East Avenue, Publisher, American Promise, who I'm pretty sure was the Virginia Derby winner, River Thames, Flying Mohawk, Grande, Madaket Road, and then 2 horses that I are foreign. Well, yeah, I thought they were.
Luxor Cafe.
Luxor. 19 is Admire Daytona, and then number 20 is Luxor Cafe. And I had thought I had read there was a 3rd foreign horse, but maybe that is not accurate, and it's just the 2.
It's just the 2 on my sheet.
Okay, well then there you go. So, and then we have Neo Equus at 21, Beza at 22. And according to Steve Bick, no one else is pointing for the race. And what do we have, 3 weeks?
So Sheriff's is going to go on the also eligible list. He said he's training, according to that article, like he's running in the Derby. So he's going to enter, I'm assuming, on the also eligible list. If somebody scratches, he's going to run.
I'm losing track of weeks. What do we have? We have 2.5 weeks till the Derby. Am I right?
Yeah, it's the top 18, and then the 2 horses they get in one from Japan, and it's like a Euro Mid-East horse that gets in, and that's Admire Daytona.
Right, and Cafe Luxor, the Japanese horse. So I know nothing about either of them. Have no idea what they did in their final preps. No clue. But
Luxor Cafe might be a little bit of a freak.
Well, yeah, we're going to watch that right now.
He's a real deal, man.
He's the 11.
Oh, it's Luxor. Bick has it as Cafe Luxor, but you're telling me it's Luxor Cafe?
Yeah, he's the 11 here.
Where is he right now?
Cap.
Oh, I see
he's
him.
on the outside.
Oh, I know those silks. Those are famous Japanese silks. Can we get some sound so I can hear them talking Japanese?
Are you being like?
It's not
Yeah.
Japanese.
You want me?
This
You want to
Koichi
hear it?
Nishikawa.
Yeah.
It's not in Japanese, I don't
Oh,
think.
is it English?
Mm.
He's wider than Grande on that course.
Yeah, look at him. See him out there?
No, I lost him. He doesn't look wider than Grande.
No, he's. I'm just messing with you.
Hey, they got the chiclets here in Japan. They do. You can tell they do those correctly.
Yeah, that's cool looking. I like that.
Here he goes on the outside, and he's in the yellow and the pink cap.
He's the 11. Okay, he's outside the. Yeah, I mean this isn't like Gulfstream Park chiclets or Woodbine. These are accurate.
They brought the kid from Ellis over here though to film the race. For God's sake,
They always do that. They pan through the field. I've always hated that.
Look at in hand moving up on his own. Look at that.
I'll never forget.
Remember, I believe. Yeah. Oh no! Never mind.
Look at this thing. Look at this thing quicken.
Yeah, that's pretty. That's a
Oh,
turf move.
who's not even?
Oh, it's a deep impact. I remember for like 20 years ago. Oh, deep impact.
Yeah, like I mean,
Look at this
that's a really crushing victory here. Like that's kind of amazing.
Well,
I mean, come on. Hey, listen. And this is by American Pharoah. They got good breeding programs out there, as you guys know. The last 5 years. Oh, who's this? Anyway,
That's-
what was that about?
anyway,
believe it or not, this colt is out of a mare named Mary's Follies.
Okay.
And a little trivia about Mary's Follies. Trained by former Steve DeCasper's employer, John Forbes. And she ran for 75,000, maiden 75,000 in her debut.
and what they're saying here, this horse beat. Let's see, was flatter two back when I don't know how 4 and 3rd place finishers finished 1 and 3 in the UAE Derby.
Yeah,
I think I'm reading that correctly.
Yeah, Admire
that is
Daytona won.
correct.
Admire Daytona won the UAE Derby. It says it's a front runner.
It's slow though.
But did you see how? Now I want to show you something. Again, I found this on.
He got a good number. The Ragazine gave him a good number.
You see this last quarter or last eighth? It says he came home in 12 flat.
Which horse? I'm looking at it. I don't. Oh, Luxor Cafe.
According to the sheet that I got online, this is like some kind of an adjusted
Mm-hmm.
mile and a quarter thing, and they're saying the Arkansas Derby was pretty good, but that could be fool's gold, as Dylan said before. That race got weird with Cornucopian and Speed Racer, whatever the hell his name was.
DRF on Derby Watch, they've got the horse rated pretty high.
Oh yeah, that horse is well meant for this. The Japanese horses. Well, look at Forever Young. I mean,
it's a matter of
I mean, sure, but if you keep betting them, I mean, if you've bet every Japanese horse to win so far, you're 0 for a lot.
Yeah, but there's been Breeders' Cups where they like dominated things.
Wait a minute. How many horses have they sent to the Derby though? And they're getting better and better. A lot?
Over the last 25 years, they've been more than a handful.
That's like one hand. That's what I'm saying. It's not a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a lot, and they're getting better. There's no doubt that they're doing better things, and I think one day a Japanese horse will win.
Listen,
round race.
Okay, comes home in 12 seconds, whatever. You saw the race visually, wide throughout, in hand, just drew off. Apparently, it beat horses that ran 1st and 3rd in the UAE Derby. I mean, that's a good company line. They're bringing the breeding is American breeding. The Japanese know what they're doing. I don't think you can dismiss this horse.
So I have an opinion, which is I think there are years when the American horses aren't good. So if you have a great Japanese horse and the American horses aren't good, that's the year to go with the Japanese horse. I don't think this is the year. I mean, I think these horses are good.
Yeah, I agree. This
Yeah,
is a
me
better.
too.
This is a good Derby this year as
I
opposed
agree.
to
Yeah,
other
like
ones.
I think this is a solid group.
Did anybody check to see if that buyer for journalism two back the 108 is that? Do we know if that's a believable buyer? I mean, does anybody
Well,
have a?
Barnes came back to Barnes pushed him, but didn't have any shot. And he kind of is he going to get tired? Is he going to bounce? I've been hearing some negative things. Maybe it's just chatter.
Are we gonna like?
Well,
we would,
every,
we-
I mean,
go ahead, Dylan.
the whole thing is pace, and I'm just looking at who pace horses could be. East Avenue has one way to go. They are completely dead sending. Smith says Rodriguez can rate. I don't think he's fast enough to be on the lead.
Well, look at
Citizen
the
Bull.
look at the mares that produced the 1-2 finishers in San Diego Derby. It was Puka. We've already talked about this. Who produced Mage and Dornock, and then you have Mopetism is the dam of journalism. Who Mopetism was? She might have won the Ashland, right? Or maybe I'm thinking of another.
No, she was a good mare. Yeah.
Yeah, I forget what she won, but
What does that have to do with the pace?
absolutely nothing. Literally nothing. My strategy on pace is to wait for you and Frank to tell me Derby week which horse is going to be on the lead. I'm not going to like out. I mean, you know.
Well, Dylan already said East Avenue. He's probably right about that.
Yeah, and I think So Dylan, based on your research so far, as I think you were about to tell us before I interrupted, are we looking at the kind of pace that good horses can survive, or the kind of pace that's going to burn up anybody up close to it?
It all depends on who goes. I wouldn't think that Baffert, if he has his two front runners, I wouldn't think that he's going to be hell bent on completely, gunning both of them. It's tough to tell, but right now I don't see, besides East Avenue, I mean, one of the Bafferts, and who else?
How did
Okay.
Citizen Bull go into the Breeders' Cup Juvenile at 16-1?
That horse is so overrated.
Yeah, Citizen Bull crawled.
But I usually don't see. Grande is probably going to be closer. American Promise is going to try to be close, but that horse isn't fast. Isn't really, really quick. So I don't know. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Who's the draw? Like if East Avenue draws outside, he's going to inject more from crossing over and forcing, going out there. I don't see a ton right now unless they completely send this, Admire Daytona. But yeah, it's gonna be Matticat Road. I mean, Matticat Road. I don't know if that horse is going. I don't know. It's gonna be because Neo Equos isn't gonna get in. River Thames is not probably gonna cut back.
I mean, I think is Neo Equus. I mean,
somebody will drop out. I think
sure.
Neo Equos
You're going to enter. I mean, there's 100%. I mean, you've got 2.5 weeks for some. I mean, somebody's dropping out. It always happens. I bet Beza gets in.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Yeah, it's all about pace. That's how it'll be. And can good horses keep going? Yeah, but
What day was the bluegrass run on again?
that was last Tuesday.
Tuesday the 1st? Or no? Yeah.
No.
Wait, what month am I in? Yeah, May. Here's April. The 8th?
Because Built is not. He's on the outside. Matticat Road right now is number 20.
Oh, is Matticat Road going in?
Oh, he's
Possibly?
the 18th. He's the 18th of
Yeah,
the
Baffert.
top
What's he
20.
doing, man? He's gonna send both those horses in there. He's gonna try and rate one, or they both like to go. Yeah, East Avenue is pretty quick. 125 early time for him. It's 8 points higher than Citizen Bull. And he hung in there. That was, they put the blinkers on and he responded pretty well. But
Yeah, I mean, what if that horse gets in, pulls a war emblem, like goes, nobody respects him, gets the lead, just has something left.
listen, I got to say, Burnham Square, whatever he won, I liked him in that race. The only reason why I liked Burnham Square, along with the bomb, was I thought this field was shit when we were watching this thing live. And Chancer McPatrick, fraud. Owen Almighty, fraud. Render Judgment, shouldn't have been in the race. Admiral Dennis, no good. Then we already talked about River Thames. That one's going to a 1 mile race. And then what I'm saying is I don't think the Bluegrass is any good. I don't think I like any of these horses.
Yeah, I mean, closers are. I mean, it happens, but
You should go like on the next one that we do or something. You could like just go horse by horse, and everybody gives their thoughts.
Yeah, well, we were picking horses through the Japanese.
Are we going to do a Triple Crown thing? Are we going to do a draft, Triple Crown draft?
Yeah, we could. Does anybody have a horse you want to talk about? I could show replays of all the preps. Well, if you have a horse in particular.
The first one I wanted to talk about was Grande, who
we got
who's in. We covered Grande.
Yeah, Grande's live.
I'm a little fuzzy on some horses. I can't tell you exactly who they are off the top of my head, which is embarrassing. Flying Mohawk, I'm a little fuzzy on that. Did that one?
Is it trained by Dallas Stewart?
No, it's trained by.
Okay, well, I don't want it then.
Whit Beckman. Where did he run in?
Second in the JR Stakes race.
Oh, the J. Ruby behind Final Gambit.
All right. Well, Animal Kingdom comes around once in a million years, and I think it's the thing too that you have to look out for is, and I like to watch those Mike Welsh videos, and I like to see who's working out good. Just see how that horse is hitting the ground over there.
It looks like Final Gambit is not definite for the Derby, according to Steve Dick's website. So that right there, that would get Neo Equus in. I mean, Flying Mohawk. I'm not sure.
Publisher. It says publishers kind of on the ground, on the fence.
On the fence. Okay, that was my underneath bomb.
Right now my bomb until I if you can find the Louisiana Derby is Chunk of Gold.
What day was that run?
Good question. It was March, so I'm going to look it up right now. I'm going to go
March 29th, probably.
It's probably still appearing. Yeah,
March 22nd.
It's still in Formulator, Steve-O, because
I can just go back.
Yeah.
Hey, is that super loud? Like, is that annoying?
Yes.
That sounds cool to me, but
my bad.
Totally fine.
I didn't say it wasn't fine or that he should do anything about it. I just said it was annoying. That's all.
I got to be honest. I didn't pay attention to this race at all. I really didn't care for it.
What Dylan's going to do? He's going to take his phone out on the deck right now, so it's even louder for us. That would be the ultimate.
Is there anybody good in here? I can't.
Yeah,
I mean,
Steve-O, pull up Chunk of Gold PPs. I want to talk about him and this profile. Okay, so I'm going to throw some names of horses at you that have run in the Kentucky Derby, and tell you who he reminds me of. So the profile is of horses that are passing horses late in their preps, but losing ground to the winner. So a few names to throw your way are Golden Soul, who was second behind Orb, Commanding Curve, who was second behind California Chrome, the long shot that got put up via DQ, who I bet Country House.
What about Giacomo?
Rich Strike. No, Giacomo does not fit because he was passing horses. I said passing horses late and losing ground to the winner. So, for instance, if you look at Chunk of Gold, he, look, Louisiana Derby, he's second within within a half a length, but then loses by 2 1/4. Go to the Risen Star. He's sixth and fourth and second, but look, he's losing ground to the winner. Now, the Leonidas Stakes doesn't really apply to this, but that was an absurdly slow pace, and he gained in his first start around 2 turns. Now, his buyers are low. I'm sure his Ragozin numbers are also low, but his past performances bear striking resemblance to other huge bombs that have hit the exacta and Country House getting put up for the win in the Kentucky Derby. And the reason why I think that is that horses that like Tiz-tastic, Magnitude, those I think were, they were running the mile and 1/8, mile and 3/16, the right distance for them. It's that extra 1/8, or in the case of Louisiana Derby, extra 16th, that a lot of horses struggle to, to finish. And I think Chunk of Gold is one that's going to just kind of keep grinding. He was up close-ish in the Louisiana Derby, so he's not a come-from-the-clouds closer. And he's got the ability to finish. I mean, he outfinished everybody in Louisiana Derby except one horse. I think Chunk of Gold is a major threat for the try.
It's good, and you base it on because you really think he'll do good at a mile and a quarter.
I base it because I think he runs his races the way I've seen other horses run their mile and 1/8 races and then go on to a mile and a quarter. That's what I'm kind of.
I've never heard of that sire. I don't know. Maybe I'm stupid, but
he's a turf horse, I think.
And then Cairo Prince was also a turf horse. That horse won the Secretariat Stakes on turf at Arlington a long time ago.
I mean, this horse was bred by the former governor of Kentucky, Brereton Jones.
What does that have to do with the pick?
That's going to get him home.
Do you not know where the Kentucky Derby is held? That's you don't factor factor politics into.
It's a cool tidbit.
How about Damon Thayer? Is Damon Thayer bred anybody?
Yeah, yes. The Thayer family bred the horse that won the Bluegrass Stakes on synthetic. It was a massive bomb in the Derby that I bet. The Thayer family. Yes, I can't believe I'm not remembering the name, but it was a Bluegrass Stakes winner on synthetic.
Has Loveberry had a Mountain of Derby yet?
2 fills.
2 fills.
Fills, yeah.
Come on.
Okay, forgot. Bad memory.
All right, I'm going to say this. I agree with Justin that Chunk of Gold is the nicest. I think a very attractive trifecta.
40-1 shot. Yeah, night 30-1.
You know what?
Yeah, you can't
the
talk
horses
you
that
off
have come out of the Risen Star can run. Maybe that horse that won the Risen Star was like the real deal. The Louisiana Derby, maybe he was a little too close to a fast pace.
Yeah, they went 46.
Because Tiz-tastic came from way out of it.
Is Tiz-tastic a toss?
I think that Fairgrounds. I think the Louisiana Derby was weak.
You think so?
I'm with you. Here, put it this way: I like Dew's horse better than Tiz-tastic.
So that's the feeling I have too.
Yeah, I would agree there.
And this horse doesn't have the points to get in. It was running for a maiden tag at Churchill, but it doesn't have enough money to get in anyway. All right. Well, I like that, Justin. It's going to be a bomb, and I like it.
Final thought on him: just compare his past performances to the horses that I mentioned.
You should do that. You should. Oh, what the fuck?
You got a bug in you,
dude? Yeah. What the fuck was that?
Fucking anacondas, man. Watch out for the Fer de Lance, man. Watch out for the Fer de Lance.
Yeah, I mentioned that the other time.
Fer de Lance can actually leaps up to strike you at your jugular level. Of course,
wait, what?
In a wheelchair, you may be able to deceive the Fer de Lance.
Wait, a snake?
Yes.
Yeah, they're poisonous as hell.
Dude,
fucking
it's like
terrifying.
the worst snake in the world.
Outside of Australia, you're in the worst spot, bro. That's a herpetologist's dream over there.
Watch out for malaria.
All right, I got
ivermectin for that.
I got a horse for you guys to,
Yeah, let's talk to Casper.
So, listen, I'm a Derby classicist, okay? I like horses that had good 2-year-old form, got a little break, came back, and kind of took it easy in their prep race. Now, I will tell you, the last decade has not been good for guys like me, but I'm still going to stick with it, and I am going to go to Sovereignty. The only
Sovereignty.
horse, well, one of two horses with a win over the Churchill Downs racetrack. He's good as a 2-year-old. Finishes his year strong with a 5-length victory over the aforementioned Tiztastic.
What was the date of the Derby?
What's that?
29th, the 29th of
March.
29th. Comes back and I think runs a hell of a race off the layoff in the Fountain of Youth and gets it done. And then breaks from the 10 hole in the Florida Derby. We all know we all know horses who had to break wide in the Florida Derby. It's not a great situation. And
the run-up's longer.
And I would just say I think he proved he could run a 95 off the layoff. I can't imagine he was totally cranked for that. I think he then was literally looking to run a decent second or third in the Florida Derby. He had a wide trip. That's a perfect prep, if you ask me, to send him forward in the Derby.
Well, we know that I was just going to point out, we know that going 9 furlongs on that strip, the outside post, the 10 post is terrible.
Yeah, no, not a good place to be.
That's terrible to be at.
Let's watch the Street Sense, Steve-O. October 27th at Churchill.
That was very impressive.
We can't
It
pull
was
it up.
closers did really well.
What day is it?
Well, you can't watch it here
Well, I
because it's
can't.
a Churchill race, but you got to go to your replays.
Just
I gotta
YouTube.
go to events.
Just go to YouTube.
I gotta go. Oh,
Yeah,
go
there
to
you go,
YouTube.
YouTube.
You got it.
Yeah.
All right.
The Street
It's called the
Sense.
Street Sense. Street Sense.
If you type in
Stakes.
sovereignty, Street Sense, my guess is it'll come up. In fact, let me just, instead of guessing, let me actually tell you if I'm right.
Oh, here it is. I got it.
Okay.
Well, here, let me. And okay, wait. What
Oh,
number
which
are
one-
we?
which one is
Let's
he?
get our bearings here.
He's the 10.
He's
Or he's the
the
9.
outside there
Or the
too. He's
10,
the
yeah.
10 one.
Godolphin Silks.
They're
Yeah,
off.
no.
And it was a good start for Reach for the Rose, and so too Bracket Buster. Here comes Ford Steele from the far outside.
He did last.
Dapper Moon and Comes a Time are pulled back off the pace, tucking in toward the inside. It a bit tight there was Baby Boat as Dapper Moon came in toward the rail. So into the clubhouse turn they go. Ford Steele comes on to take the lead now and strides out to lead by half a length. Reach for the Rose backs off to be second. Comes a Time is racing third. Bracket Busters in fourth. Dapper Moon moves up into fifth. Baby Boat to
They're
the
not flying.
inside sixth. Sandman 3 wide at the back in seventh
Little
with
check
Tiztastic
there.
and Sovereign.
Yeah, I
So
saw
those
that.
two are at the back
Little
as well.
check there.
Got an opening
He
quarter
beat
and a solid
Tiztastic
23
and Sandman in
and
here.
2. Ford Steele heads down the backstretch run, leads by just under a length with 5 furlongs to go. Comes a Time is right there racing in second. Reach for the Rose continues on, tucked
He's
away
a
to the
maiden here,
inside
by the way.
third.
He breaks his
Dapper
maiden.
Moon sets up outside for the run past the half-mile pole. Bracket
He was
Busters
favored.
in between and with a shot. Tiztastic starts to muster up a late rally. Revs up on the far outside following Dapper Moon round the
Still
far
hasn't
turn. And
gone.
Sandman's coming alive. Sandman has just
I
gone
brushed
past
again.
Baby Boat. In the meantime, Sovereignty is the trailer. The trailer with 2.5 furlongs to go. The leader is Ford Steele with a new challenger in Dapper Moon.
Wow,
These
Zenyatta
two
route.
head to head off the turn. Tiztastic and Sandman. Sovereignty's been switched outside and is finding stride now. Sovereignty coming quickly. Furlong to go. Dapper Moon comes away with the lead, but Sovereignty has rallied
It's
from
gonna look
last to
familiar in a
first in
couple
the 8th
weeks,
hole,
folks.
and it's kicking onto the wire. Sovereignty kicking on nicely too. Is going to
Wow.
ramble home
And
to win it
geared down.
by 5. Geared down, last to first winner.
Whoa.
Tiztastic is up for second. It's tight for third. Sandman.
So you weren't
here's the
lying.
So he gets a 92 buyer for the Florida Derby, which is the same buyer that Chunk of Gold got in the Louisiana Derby. And my question is, are we really supposed to believe that those efforts were identical?
No.
No, and I got to tell you, that's horse for course too. That
So
was
maybe
like,
we should watch the replay of the Florida Derby too,
Okay.
because I would tell you I didn't think he was. I don't think winning the Florida Derby was high on Bill Mott's list of priorities with this horse. Number one,
no, after having
and
that
number
street
two, I
sense
do
race in
think
your
he
hip
was a
pocket.
little. I do think he was a little wide.
He's in the 10 post, of course, which is not good.
And
This
the
guy's
winners
he's
are-
probably going to
the
draw
winners
the
are nice.
20 at Churchill based on this horse's luck.
They're off in the Florida Derby.
Good break.
It was an excellent start for Tapan Street from his outside gate, but speed at the inside from Neo Equos, and Neo Equos floats off the inside and leads.
Oh,
the
Dylan,
race.
what's the rag is in here? Good lord.
Oh, that's terrible, that first turn.
Road is going to run with him. Indecisiveness takes back to race in third.
Him and Tappan Street ran the same race.
Tapan Street settles into race in fourth now. Down at the inside goes
Okay.
Smokin' Boy. Working between them is Jimmy's Dailies. He's a length and a half in front of Entered the Dragon. Manny Franco has the race favorite Sovereignty third last.
But I would say,
Second last.
in my opinion, I think Sovereignty ran a little better.
An opening quarter of 23 and 1. Less than 6 furlongs to go. They're chasing Mike Smith and Mataket Road. They lead by a length over Neo Equos in second. Jorge Ruiz has hold of long shot
This
Indecisiveness.
is where
He's third at the inside. He's 3 better than the team of
Rich
Tapan
was
Street,
crying
racing
for a
together with
Baffert
Jimmy's
re-break
Dailies.
live.
About 6 lengths off the speed. Smokin' Boy is next.
Oh, that was an into mischief exacta in the
5 lengths behind. He just
Florida
went by
Derby.
Entered the Dragon and Smokin' Boy.
I thought the 8 ran a good race considering he got the golden Rebel rail and still couldn't win.
3 furlongs remains in the
Although he did run fast in the Rebel.
Mataket Road by a head. Up on the outside, Neo Equos is second. Let go for a move now. It's Luis Saez on Tapan Street. He strides into third. On his back, it's the favorite Sovereignty who warms to the task within 5 lengths of the lead.
These two horses are good.
3/4 and 1:11 and 3. They're
Yeah,
a quarter of a
yeah,
mile
Tappan
slow.
Street's the real
It's still
deal,
a sitting chip at
and
Mike Smith.
Sovereignty
Mataket
ran
Road. Zayas all over Neo Equos.
good
and
race here.
Tapan Street swung to their center of the racetrack. They're an eighth of a mile from home. Here comes Tapan Street, surging forward now to take the lead. Sovereignty runs at him from the outside with a 16th to go.
I like how he's
If you're looking
digging,
for a shortcut
digging
to
in.
Louisville, take a ride on
Add another
Tapan
eighth of a
Street.
mile. You
He
never
wins
know.
the Florida
Oh, he runs him
Derby
down.
I thought that was good. Tapan
That was.
Street, Tapan Street needed that.
Right.
Sovereignty did.
Correct.
I thought they had to use Sovereignty a little bit early to keep position, and I don't think that necessarily worked to the advantage of his late kick either. That would be
He's gonna be far back.
he is. He's not
He's
getting.
gonna be far back.
But that's okay though. That he's. I love the connections. Well,
Listen, if I can get a Sovereignty, like heads up versus Sandman, I'm gonna open up accounts in other people's name.
Yeah, but I mean, you're going to have to put up like minus 220 for that.
Oh, I don't think so. I think Sandman's gonna get bet.
I think so. Yeah.
It's West
Buddy
Point.
Myers figure, the big closing kick.
He won the Arkansas Derby. Everybody in the whole state of Arkansas is going to bet him.
Well, Sovereignty is currently the second choice.
Yeah, he's gonna be shorter than Sandman for sure.
That's ridiculous. You think so?
Yeah, I think he will. But
It'll be
I don't
close.
think
It'll be close. It'll be
Yeah.
close. But
Then
you gotta-
here's my final comment on Sovereignty. I think journalism is by far the best horse in this field. Like it's not even close. The problem is he's going to be running against more horses in the Derby than he's ran against in his last 4 starts
Combined, yeah.
combined. I think you just have to be against a horse like that. You have to be against these California horses
Mm-hmm.
because they're going to face chaos that they haven't faced before, right?
Well, Barnes got cooked, came back and ran like.
I
shit.
mean, journalism had some chaos in his last race.
He did. Maybe intentional.
But did he run his race in April? And is he going to be
no,
up from the level of
let me
May?
just say this. He is by far I think he's by far the best horse.
Pull up that replay.
Which race?
Santa Anita Derby. Listen, he's he's going to be in front of all the deep closers. He had to be Yeah, I mean, I think he's the most likely. I mean, it's not anything crazy, but
And Baeza to the outside. Loaded smoothly.
at the start of the far turn, he gets shuffled.
Anita Derby. And a very even break. Citizen Bull is flashing his natural skill. He's got company immediately from Westwood, and Journalism backs off the top pair. Barnes
can't
will
believe
come off the pace today.
Beza,
And
whatever, is
Baeza
14 to
is
1.
at the back of the field. So it is the long shot Westwood who gets to the
Look
front.
at Beza going
Garcia
voluntarily
There's
wide.
your first check
Over
for
to the
Journalism
to the 6
going into the
furlong
turn.
pole. Journalism is down at the rail, joined by Barnes. Barnes takes third as they move toward the back stretch.
If Beza
And
gets in,
Baeza
he's
is
going to
at the
wipe
back
out
with
like 7
3.5
horses.
lengths covers the field, and it is Westwood on even terms with.
Yeah, he's a green horse.
The other is 1. 2.5 more lengths back to Barnes in
I think he's
third.
talented, though.
Baeza is inching
Oh, yeah, he
forward
is.
into the race right away. And there goes Baeza after Citizen Bull, who has the lead past the 5/8 pole. Journalism is down at the rail. Extremely compact field. There's a half-mile left to go in the Santa Anita Derby. And
Journalism is now dead last.
Citizen
It's amazing.
Bull and Martin Garcia just in
Now we're
front.
going to check.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. There's a problem. I can't believe he ends up winning this race.
Wow. Okay.
Journalism is hard ridden at the back of the field, and the trailer
Let's count my
is
money
Barnes.
here.
They're coming to the quarter pole, and Citizen Bull's been in front throughout. Baeza up alongside the challenge, and now Journalism is revving up a clear-cut third. They're at the top of the stretch in the Santa Anita Derby, and here's Baeza. Baeza forges past Citizen Bull, and Journalism is kicking into high gear. Journalism and Baeza in a Santa Anita Derby showdown. It is Journalism just.
So if you factor in the trouble, he's run 2 108s, basically, would be what I would say.
Punched his ticket to Louisville. It was.
They should, so let me know when you guys are going to go.
Well, my concern is he running too fast in March and April, and is he going to peak in the Derby?
If he runs those same races, he's winning.
The Caspers wanted to give him a 108 for the Santa Anita Derby. I don't know if he had 6 lengths of trouble.
I bet you.
Well, now the buyer at 9 furlongs, the buyer is worth 1.8 to 2 points.
No, in the Wood Memorial, it was like 1, and it was like just over 1, I think, because, at least in the Wood, it was. So
three quarters of the length was 1 point. I think it's 2 for a length.
I mean, I would say he had 2.5 lengths of trouble to 3.
Came home quick.
He's got a good. And he breaks well. He's a good gate horse, which is massive. He gets out of the gate well. He's going to get the jump on a lot of the other deeps. He's going to get the jump on Burnham Square, Sovereignty. And if you think it's, I don't know. It's what do you think he goes off at? 2 to 1. Yeah.
3 to 1.
3?
3 to 1 would be again, I think you've got to find something else to play, because I just worry about the 20. I worry about the 20 horses, but Dylan makes a really good point that he's handy. He's had trouble. Like, maybe it's not,
He's not. It's not like he's I understand the 5, running against 5 horses, but it's different when you're running against 5 horses and you're just on a loose lead.
Yep.
Well, he beat a 10-horse field at Del Mar. His maiden win. But
you just don't need to use. I mean,
he'll be. It's the Derby. He's not going to be like 6 to 5, and I think 3 to 1 is about right. What do you guys think?
I bet you he's low. I bet you he's lower.
Really? Wow. Well, if you go on Steve Bicken,
I think, I think there's the other issue, which is low profile connections, right? Like that's, I think there's a lot working in journalism's favor for slightly higher than you would expect odds.
You mentioned the connect. I heard the guy on the radio. He's had 25 years of losing. His wife was giving him problems. And all of a sudden, boom, this horse.
Who are we talking about here? We're not talking about McCarthy, are we?
Yeah.
No, we're talking about the guy that owns this horse.
Eclipse Thoroughbreds and Bridlewood.
Oh.
Must be that bridle.
Well, it's owned by Donald. It was bred by Don Alberto Corporation, and those are the silks that journalism was wearing. But you don't see Don Alberto in the ownership line there on the form, but he's definitely.
Yeah, he's a part of it. There's like a bunch of people who own this.
Yeah, there's a partner in this horse that is pinching himself, and he's had 25 years of losing, so it'll be a cool story. Get him in there. What's the next Derby prep?
Do we watch the Arkansas Derby yet to see?
Throw that up.
Well, I mean, yeah, you
throw that up.
You
can watch the Preakness winner in here.
What?
Yeah,
Cornucopian.
No, Cornucopian.
Cornucopian, yeah. I think that was
the. You think Stafford will bring that horse? But do you think they'll go in the?
Oh no, they ran on the 6th. They ran that race on the 6th.
Yeah, here's who's pointing for the Preakness right now: Cornucopian, Passion Rules, Clever Again, Heart of Honor, Gosker, Bracket Buster, and Hill Road.
Oh geez, he's 2 to 5 in there.
What day was the Arkansas Derby? Was it the 5th? No, that day got wiped out. It was before that.
The Arkansas Derby?
29th.
That's the 29th.
That little sheet that I was showing you that I got from a Facebook group, they seem to think they like Sandman and Dylan. I know you're poo-pooing them, but my contention is if Publisher and Sandman are both in there and Sandman's going to be 8-1 and Publisher's going to be 30-1, I want Publisher. I mean, I've been in his corner 2 races in a row, and
your current 3-2 favorite.
He's just slow.
Yeah, I know, but I'm talking about not winning. I'm talking about your super and try underneath.
You know what that means? We're ready to go. They're off in the 89th Arkansas Derby. Slow break from the maiden. Publisher and Cornucopian's taking it to him from the word go as an arrow lead on Cole Battle, who's keen here. Cole Battle wants to get after the leaders. He's on restraint to take back to 3rd. And there goes Speed King, the Southwest winner. He's going to take the initiative here, and Cornucopian will hook up with him going into the turn, and they speed off here. These two hook up, and they open up 5 or 6.
This is insane.
Cole Battle, who's running in 3rd.
Yeah, those
well today, and more
2 dipshits right
First
there.
division in the 4th position, a length and a half clear of Best Friend Rockin' and Brereton's Baytown. Monet's Magic 3rd last. Sandman the Gray has a fast pace to chase, and Publisher is at the back. They're going mad out there. Cornucopian wants to go, and John Velasquez is letting him run. Rafael Bejarano trying to give his horse a breather, but he's very keen
45
too. And these two fly down the backstretch here. 45-1, that half-mile time. It's a testing first half-mile here for these top 2. It would be incredible if either of them could keep this up. They're 7 lengths ahead. Cole Battle running in the 3rd position. Brereton's Baytown tries to get closer, and now Cole Battle is given a cue to go, and he's taking 3rd, and he's coming after the top pair, Cole Battle, as they round the 4th turn. It's Cornucopian Speed King coming back to the group. Here's Sandman threatening to run a big one, and Cole Battle, Speed King's done. Cornucopian, the dirt has turned into quicksand. He's done as they come to the top of the stretch.
That's a good
here.
call.
Cole Battle, Sandman going at it, and Publisher trying to break his maiden in the Arkansas Derby. Cole Battle has lost the lead to Sandman. Publisher, the only threat to beat him. Sandman, he's
all over the
green,
place.
drifting around here. It's Sandman in front by 2. Publisher is 2nd, and Sandman, he's run his A race, and he gets a confidence booster heading to Kentucky.
Hey, Cornucopian ran pretty good in there.
Sandman does it. The son of Tappet for Mark Cassie and Jose Ortiz.
Boy, they
win the
came home
Arkansas
slow.
Derby over Publisher and Cole Battle.
Well, Steve
Yeah,
said
like-
they came home fast.
No, what They do. Here, I'm looking at the sheet.
Like, it looks insanely slow to me.
You know
Like,
what, DeCaspers, I'm glad you said that. I was going to bring this up as a topic, and I completely
is this
forgot.
is this
What
Chris Larmy saying he's the fastest finisher or something like that?
The question I'd like to ask,
It says here Sandman came home in just under 13.
right? What impact does camera angle have on our perception as to how fast a horse is coming home? Because some tracks have a higher camera angle, some of it's lower but closer to the track, so you see the horses at a different angle. Like every horse at Aqueduct looks like it's absolutely crawling home.
Yeah.
So I think you have to take camera angle into account when assessing how a horse looks like it's closing. But the timer doesn't lie, and saying, they came home in 13 seconds.
Well, they came
What
home in
track
13,
do they look?
They came home in 13 seconds. I'm looking at the last 3/8.
Yeah, very slow.
And they came home in like freaking 40, or something like, what is that? That's 37.
29. 39. Yeah.
Those are
30.
takeout horses. Sandman, that's a
Yeah, I'm against everything from the Arkansas Derby.
The only one who if Coal Battle is a massive price, I could see myself throwing him in there.
In fourth, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if he looks at the tiny little thing. I don't know if he wants to go that far, but he did, and he had a perfect trip, and he still. He ran an okay number in the Rebel, but he's got a good. He's going to be in front of the deep closers, and he's handy. He's a little interesting. Coal Battle is going to be, the story of Lonnie Briley. I don't know, but he could be 50-1, couldn't he?
Yeah, coming into this race,
Sure.
the Arkansas Derby, I think the consensus was he can't get 9 furlongs like some of these other ones could.
Sure, he might not.
Let alone 10 furlongs, right?
He will be in my super high five Coal Battle.
What day was the we can look at Colonial Downs, the Virginia Derby. Was that Saturday the 15th?
I've never seen that race. I'd like to watch it.
That was the NHC.
You saw that race. It was at NHC.
Oh, it was at the NHC.
Ungraded. It is not a graded stake, but it had a $500,000 purse, and of course,
I went to the bathroom when
that's
that race
win
went
and
off.
you're in, by the way. I think no, that's not a win and you're in. It's but it was
points.
Yeah.
What day was that, guys?
March
15th.
15th. But you can't watch the replay on DRF because it's a Churchill-owned track.
Oh,
Look
I think it's probably tough to make.
Jamming the workouts on this horse. This horse has gone 59 and change on April 1st, 59 on 2 on April 9th. Love it. Love it. That man knows how to train a racehorse.
All right, let me.
He doesn't baby him like Chad. The reason Chad doesn't have anybody in here.
American Promise was basically splitting the field in the Southwest in the Risen Star, and then comes and demolishes the Virginia Derby.
That was a shit field.
That was really awful.
It's probably tough to make a figure. They gave him a 10 on the rags. It's tough to make a figure because that was the first or second day of the meet or third day. I don't know. It's just they were all running track records and shit. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I'd like to know if he's going to be a pace factor because
he's not fast.
Well, they went the half in 45 and 1, 3/4 in 108 and 2.
Well, Dylan, I don't know about that. I don't know about Dylan's take on that one.
We don't really know because if he's right, they were setting track records.
Yeah, but look at the other times. He was never near anything.
Well, he broke bad in the Southwest.
He was slow in the Risen Star.
And they're
I don't know why. I don't know why he wasn't there. Well, he was ridden by
3.
Racing and the Risen Star, whatever the hell that guy's name is.
We're looking at the 3-horse here.
Yes.
He got out better this time. I'll say that.
And that's Baffert on the lead.
I'd be
good.
right
Maybe
up there.
The 3 muddy up the waters a little bit.
And Render Judgment is up there
Yeah.
too. Here comes Render Judgment, 3 wide to join the fray on the far outside. Those 3 right across the track, down the back.
Render Judgment came back to run 5th in the bluegrass.
Authentic Gallop comes out racing in 4th. Rapture toward the inside is 5th.
The bluegrass
Studley
sucked.
Durway nudged along in 6th, and stretch running Omaha the trailer in 7th through an opening quarter in a swift 23 seconds flat. American Promise and Getaway Car going head-to-head for the lead. They hit the far turn that way. They're still 2.5 lengths clear of Render Judgment, who backed off a bit and is back into 3rd. Rapture toward the inside is racing 4th. Authentic
Dylan, how do you
Gallop
sleep
coming
at night
for
with
a
those
ride,
bugs?
5th. Studley Do Right and Omaha.
No problem
Round the far
whatsoever.
turn,
I mean, my God, I like the sound of
Promise-
nature too, but
American Promise has come on to take the lead, is wide on the track, but is in front by a length as they head for the quarter pole. Getaway
Wow,
Car,
look at those fractions.
Irad
I don't
has
know.
opened up the throttle,
That's
but he's
what that's
back
all
into
about.
second as they come to the top of the stretch. Render Judgment racing 3rd, and Rapture is 4th. They're off the turn in the Virginia Derby. American Promise clear by 3 as they head for the final furlong. American Promise trying to pull the upset.
On 3/4 and
Getaway
1
I mean,
away.
he looks.
given way.
Doesn't he look a little
Render
bit like
Judgment,
Thunder Gulch with the white
Omaha,
blinkers
the
there?
Virginia bred coming down the center.
Get up, 3.
American Promise has a 5-length lead.
Yeah, he's
100 yards
flying
to
home. Look at him.
now it's 6.
Well, he
Now
went
it's
108 and
7.
change.
The Virginia Derby to American Promise.
What do you make of the race shape there? That was weird.
Render Judgment
Opening
was second
quarter
and
was
is tight
respectable.
for 3rd.
I mean, according to this, American Promise ran his 2nd quarter in 22 flat, if that's correct.
Right. That's
I
pretty.
mean, so I mean, if that can be wrong, then so can the final 8th of 13.39. But Getaway Car, it has his final 8th in 14-1. So I mean, you know,
It's an ungraded stake. So how did you do that? I don't get it. That's winning you're in.
yeah. When the Churchill Downs can assign points to any race
I mean,
they want.
look at the last race of that day. The last race of the day.
Okay,
On that day.
you're right.
Look what they went to the half, and that's a first level allowance.
45 flat versus 45.
That
and
was a
1 here.
1-turn race. Yeah.
I mean, they were both, a mile and a 16th, mile and an eighth. I mean, sure, there was like the Virginia Oaks,
Oh, they're both 1-turn. The mile, they were both 1-turn races.
everything. Yeah,
I had
it's tough. It was small. It was a lot of small fields that day, but if you just look at, it didn't look like anybody was really changing positions there on that day.
well, yeah, he did come home slow according to this, but not super slow considering the fractions. But then again, like you said, the track was kind of.
I mean, look at the horse who ran. If you go to the 5th race that day, they went 45.34. That horse got a 92 buyer, 1 by 6, and that horse comes back and regresses 9 points and runs second. This Lion of Justice at Keeneland the other day.
This horse is pretty quick, though. I mean, dude, look at that second quarter in there.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, he was
22.
moving.
So I said
That's-
22 flat for the winner.
That's really crazy. It's weird. It's this horse is probably going to be dismissed, and I don't know. It's fast. I think it's going to be in the mix.
Should get a good trip right behind horses.
This horse beat Publisher. in a money
Yeah,
trip.
I mean, Lucas is not going to say, "Hey, don't use this horse's natural speed." That's not what he's going to do.
Oh yeah, of course. D. Wayne, you got to run up. You got to run in the race to win it, and then yeah, he's going to go. So that's another speedy horse we could put in there with.
It's setting up really well for a chunk of gold to get up for 2nd or 3rd.
But do you guys having any parties or anything? What do you guys usually do for the Derby?
Shit, I've done different things every year. What are you doing, Justin?
My daughter has the lead role in a local play on Friday, and then she's got 2 performances on Saturday, which I, of course, will be missing. but I will see her Friday. And my mom is coming to town to see the Friday performance. Maybe anyway. Bottom line is nothing crazy. That's the answer. I think I'm going to play in the Kentucky Derby betting challenge, whether I win a seat or not. We saw if, for those of you followed on Twitter today, Matt Miller with his genius strategy beat me.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw his tweet.
And
See his
Twin
tweet?
Spires. Yep, I sent it to all you guys. We both had winners. I was in the lead. He passed me in the second or third race, and then I couldn't. I hung on for second and a cash prize. Try again tomorrow. So anyway, the answer to your question, I will be right here where I'm sitting right now on Derby Day.
Clay Sanders. Typically, route races have slower fractions because of the turn.
Yes.
These one-turn routes have nuclear fractions. Yep.
Yeah, I couldn't believe any of the. Yeah.
Well, not only that, but it was a new meet. They just have a lot of weirdness going on that day. Remember that one race was declared a no. Not that affects time, but it was just they didn't have their shit together. Let's put it that way. So take all of it with a grain of salt.
And the horse, his first. So his last 4 races, American Promise on the rags, starting from his maiden win, 16, 14 and 3/4, 14 and 3/4, 10.
Yeah, that's a pretty big jump up. I mean, but they get good. I mean, Lucas trained Charismatic. Charismatic wasn't, on anybody's radar, and he ran like a 108 buyer in the Lexington, and he's had horses just get good and run monsters.
After he had it in a maiden claiming event.
Didn't Lucas, I think, also trained Commendable, or was that, I don't know, it was Baffert, or I thought it was Wayne Lucas, but in the Belmont at like a massive price.
Yep, remember that.
He just, he comes out of nowhere sometimes, and you got to kind of take him seriously.
Still kicking. Do we have another horse to look at?
Did you watch?
I would tell you. So I think I'm going to ignore this horse, but Final Gambit,
Jeff Ruby
jumped up and won the Jeff Ruby, or as I call it, the Jim Beam. In a way, so I had the second place horse, right? And so I really like, Flying Mohawk, yeah. So I kind of took notice, and I watched this replay, and it was sort of like, I don't know that this was they went fast, yes, but I don't think they went impossibly fast. This horse just flew home.
What was the date of the race?
If this horse comes and works
the 22nd, I got the chart up.
22nd of March.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No. By the way, 30. What is that? That's 36 and that's 36.1.
Holy cow! 11.97.
Yeah. I mean,
finally.
This horse just inhaled these.
All the closers did well in there.
Yeah, I would agree with that, Dylan.
Horses who were 1, 2, 3, 4 at the half ran terrible.
I had Giacoso in that race, and I thought I was counting my money at the top of the stretch, and then he completely flattened out. Flying Mohawk.
Wow.
I mean, it just I don't know. I will leave this horse out. I am not taking a polytrack, whatever. And it's not like he even ran a huge number. Right?
Yeah, it's not like his previous races had been.
I mean, it was a bad field.
Well, the thing about Animal Kingdom when he won the Spiral Stakes is that he had been running at Gulfstream. That I think he had at least 1, maybe 2 races on the turf at Gulfstream that year. And he was running in classy races, and he was running well. He looked like he had a lot of ability. And then he worked out on dirt and was lights out.
His workout reports that week, that whole month, were just off the charts. And he went off at 20-1 still.
I know. I had him.
Wow. I had him too.
I had him too.
No, for real. It's all documented.
I did that.
And 2 fills, he had ran on the dirt, and he ran he ran like a 6 1/4 or 6.5 or something like that on that.
And Animal Kingdom had a half sibling I think, that had run well on dirt.
Yeah, I don't know about this race. It'll be
I would tell you,
you know.
I would tell you that I thought I was going to win the most money like ever when Shackelford came into the stretch, and it was going to run Shackelford, Nero, and then Animal Kingdom out of nowhere.
I've been watching that race. I watched Animal Kingdom the whole way, and they had the weird camera angle there turning for home right before they turned for home, and you could see Velasquez get into a seam on Animal Kingdom, and he was full of steam. I'm like, he's going to fucking win. And I went nuts. And I had the Oaks winner the day before. I did not play an Oaks Derby double that paid, I think it was like 150 or 190 to 1. No. Yeah. Because I think $100 would have got me like 15,000, 19,000 or something.
Hey, gentlemen, I gotta get ready. We're going to dinner here.
Yeah. I got to drop off.
Yeah, I think we talked about everybody. So yeah, this was a good show, guys. We'll when the
Love you
PPs
guys.
come out, let's have another one. Let's have another
for sure.
powwow when the best performances come out. We can see the
We gotta do
tape.
it. We gotta do a Triple Crown draft for sure.
Yeah, we did for fantasy. Or you want to do something else?
No, like
Oh,
everyone,
yeah,
you
I
pick a
can't
horse
wait
for
till
the.
Dylan takes cornucopian with the number one with the number
Yeah.
one.
Well, he did it last year. I was going to take the Preakness winner first, and he beat me to it.
Yeah.
All right,
yeah,
All right,
yeah.
gentlemen. Talk to
All
you
right,
later.
I'm out. Later, boys.
All right, later, everybody. I'll play our little song to end the show. If I can find it. You guys are gonna love this. Here it is. See you later, guys.